that's going to make the...
I shared it on my page.
Well, the event. If I share the event, will that turn into the live stream or?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Okay, I'll share it right now while we have the extra 2 minutes. Oh wait, I'm not even logged into my Nightmare account. What the fuck? What the fuck?
D-Day. Zach looks pretty cool, man. That's a good loadout, though. You should keep that. I like that.
Yo, dude, that was legit. Let him cook.
Yeah. Let him cook. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it was.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Are you done? Can I do the intro now?
please.
Can you at least tell us that we're live?
I did. I said we're live in 10 seconds.
Nobody heard you.
I did. I just didn't care.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the After Action Report for D-Day with the Maritime Paintball Podcast. We have some fantastic guests tonight. I am the one true king of paintball, Thomas Burke. I see him in the chat somewhere. With me, as always, is my friend to my right, my left. I don't know. He's over there. That's Brad Odell. And welcome to our radio listeners on beautiful 97.9 CHSR in Fredericton. It's nice to have you all here tonight with us. And we are talking about the D-Day Tippmann Challenge that took place this weekend for our friends in Radioland. I'm going to hear all about it from some marginally famous people.
Definitely not famous.
I think
Not
it's a
you.
stretch.
I was
I
talking
think
about
it
Brad.
But
So
I
now,
mean-
did you want to try and do the intro a little bit better? Because you can do it better than me.
You can try
yeah,
again.
let me. If it doesn't feel right if I don't do it right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 404 of the Maritime Paintball Podcast, coming to you live, 97.9 CHSR FM in Fredericton, New Brunswick. And what's he pointing at? And we're live on Facebook, via Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So go check us out, Maritime Paintball Podcast. Come find us on the socials. You can come hang out in the chat with us, and whatnot. Nightmare's like pointing everywhere. Sorry, the artist formerly known as Nightmare is pointing everywhere. It's distracting the hell out of me.
Somebody
Like-
says they're
Focus
better
on your
than
show,
Tom.
not me.
Put my hand up. So
I love how Zach is muted. Zach, you're muted, buddy.
He's
No, no, he's
laughing too
killing
hard.
himself laughing. It's
Like,
perfect that he's
like-
muted.
like Tom, the king of paintball over there, had said, we are doing the Commando Action Centre D-Day after action or recap. After action doesn't sound right. I don't like it. I want to do a recap. We're doing a recap.
It's a recap.
It's a recap because after action just feels too.
Post-event clarity is what we're going for here tonight. Because we've
I
all
love
had,
it.
we all had a great time.
Post-event depression. So let's just deal with that one
That's a
step at a
legit
time.
thing. That's
It
a
is.
legit thing.
Especially when you had what he had happen to him. I'm not pointing at that. I'm pointing at him.
I was like, what,
I was
like,
about
what
to
did
say,
I-
are you pointing at your
what did
crotch?
I miss?
I have
It
no
was a
idea
sad
what's going
event, I'll tell you. So yeah, where are we going to start
Maybe,
tonight,
maybe
Bradley?
we should, maybe we should
Introduce our
introduce
guests?
the three floating heads that we have here on the chat with us. So we've got a big effing squad. Zach,
Hello.
happening over there. Hello. We've got better than Tonka, Leadfarmer down there. Love you, Tonka. It's a joke. I'm sure you're fine. I'm sure you can handle
sure
it.
he's aware of that.
And then we've got the artist formerly known as Nightmare PB.
You
Are
changed
you
my
gonna, are you
name,
going to go to a
and I
symbol?
like it.
Right? I dig it.
Yeah,
it. Now
it's
we
just gonna be a
need the
symbol of
guitar.
me with my hand up, walking off the paintball field after all the hits I took this weekend.
Oh, buddy. It was such a good weekend, though.
It was a good weekend.
It was. So we all got to hang out, play on the same team over at Commando Action Centre in. I always say they're in Ottawa. They're technically just outside of Ottawa, right? Like they're.
It's Ottawa.
No,
Yeah.
It's
It's like
far.
GTA.
That.
Yeah, it's
So-
only like it's not too far from it. You can call it Ottawa. It's like 20 minutes.
It's
Sure.
not GTA.
No, but you know what I mean. Like you're in Toronto, but you're not in Toronto. You're in the GTA.
Same,
Like-
but different.
You're in Ottawa, but you're not in Ottawa.
It's
That's
a
what I'm
little
getting
bit
at.
outside of Ottawa.
You guys
Samantha.
don't leave New Brunswick that often, eh?
No, because when
only
we-
in June.
Driving out of, yeah,
Only the best leave New Brunswick.
and stay gone.
That's
Yeah.
the
right.
trick. The rest
But
of them
they-
keep coming back because they can't resist
They
whatever
have to go-
addiction they have in New Brunswick.
They have to go to BC first.
The
right?
Irving Forests.
We have to drive through the Irving Forest. Cameron's got my back. He's like, same way. Riverside is Moncton. So is
Riverside.
Dieppe.
North side of Fredericton.
Still the
Start
capital
fighting that.
region.
Yeah. So, anyways, enough geography.
For all of our New Brunswick listeners out there.
Yeah. ladies
Promise-
and gentlemen, welcome to the
Promise this
Maritime
won't be on the
Geography.
test.
I can't guarantee. So we'll. So the event was great. So it was. We had last I checked, the numbers were around 600 to 650 people
Nice.
Dang.
for the event. That was fantastic. That was super great. I don't know how do we want to do this. Let's do
First of
highlights.
all, why don't we tell the people on the radio what exactly the D-Day Tippmann Challenge was?
It's a great idea.
Canada's
Yeah, you know my
biggest
day's been
opening
moving.
class event hosted by Commando Action Centre in Ottawa, Ontario.
Can you do that again, but with a bit more energy?
So,
That was depressing as
The
hell.
lead farm
really
energy I've
was.
heard about.
should I do it in Tonka fashion?
Oh my
listen
God,
up.
yes.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey.
I want to tell you
I know you're tired.
D-Day.
I know it's been a hard
Guys,
fight.
I love you, Tonka. We're just kidding. All right, so just calm down.
Listen.
You're a big guy.
Okay,
You're Jay.
Okay, would it be rude? Would it be horribly rude if we all pitched in and got Leadfarmer here? If we got him like a really, really bad spray tan, and he cosplayed as Tonka at an event.
You have to shake my
Yes,
hand.
let's do it.
Yes. No, we'll get you a
Ball
ball
cap.
cap.
Yes, I'm
All right,
down.
next D-Day, it's going to be.
I will
lead
be.
Tonka.
I'll be Tonka.
Right? Except instead of having the little Tonka toy on you, we're gonna get you what's the other company? There was a
Matchbox.
Matchbox. It'll be a Matchbox toy.
No, we'll get him a Transformer. We'll get him one of the Devastators and just pop that on his shoulder. Like,
Yeah,
come on,
love
kid,
that.
he's a
But
child
does
of the
the-
80s. Let's do it
Does
right.
the T-shirt have to be too tight? Like, I don't feel comfortable showing that much of my body. Like,
Oh, come on now.
I don't
Can we
know.
get
Don't
him? Can we
deprive
get
the
one of
people.
the? We'll get him one of the costume abs.
Yes,
Like
I
we'll
can.
go
I can
full
spray paint myself.
like Hulk Hogan.
Get
Careful.
myself some packs.
Don't say that too loud. Old Terry Boyle is a bit litigious back in if you say the wrong thing. So let's not be doing that.
Okay, so yeah,
That's
so
fair.
let's talk the event.
Canada's biggest game.
What you
It's
gonna do,
Canada's
brother?
biggest game. It's open class.
Brother.
It's been going on for 20 years. Who's who is of e-celebs, like the artist formerly known as Nightmare usually goes there. Brad Odell, the king, the big e-celebs, you know what I mean? So it's a great game, and it has been successful for many years. And
Yes,
every year,
today
Maritimers show up there, and they have a great time.
They
Like,
my
tend
mic
to
will be a little bit
we
closer.
tend to take up a little corner at D-Day, and it seems to
Nice.
get a little bit bigger every year. That we've annexed, like with the assistance of our friends, the Grumpy Old Men, have showed us the way of assimilating an entire group of people. So eventually, I want to take over that whole side, like where we had Willy Wobbles against the speedball field. I want that whole section to just be dominated by us.
It's the best
You
spot.
know what I'm going to do next year? That truck that was in the middle of the staging area,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a ladder and I'm staging in the back of that truck next year.
Yep.
What, the one from Flag Raiders?
Yeah, the old Flag Raiders truck, the one that was in the middle of the staging area.
That where that
Absolutely.
I'm getting a
Yeah,
ladder
Flag
and I'm staging there next
Yes.
year.
Dave bought the OG Flag Raiders truck and had it repainted in the Commando colors.
Wow.
Army green.
I love how
Wow.
that's
What? I did
a
not know
bittersweet. That's bittersweet knowledge.
It is. It's
'Cause
pretty
it's like-
sad.
You didn't know
On
that?
one hand, it's one second.
See, I don't consider that
pretty
bittersweet
sure-
at all because it's nice to when a field closes down. I love when we have like a main attraction from that field end up on another field.
Yeah.
It keeps
Yes,
the
but
spirit
what I
of
mean,
Flag
like-
Raiders alive.
Yeah,
It does.
but it also means that
Flag Raiders is
they don't
gone
think they're going to
forever.
need that truck ever again.
I don't think. they
I
are, dude.
think, I think the writing's on the wall on that one. Unfortunately,
I don't think it's on the wall anymore. I think the
That
town
is-
straight up
that
just
is
told
pretty
them,
sad.
no, you're never opening the field again.
I just don't understand that, man. It brings people into your town. Like if you look at D-Day, how much money does the surrounding area make of us idiots buying adult drinks and eating out on the town?
Oh man.
Yes, but
I don't
the
want to talk
problem
about the
is-
bill we paid at Moxie's, man.
That was wild. The problem though is that the old white dudes it's not a golf course, so they don't understand.
Golf courses and cemeteries, the two biggest wastes of real estate in the world.
Yeah.
Country
Right,
clubs.
So the event was huge. The attractions, we had Intensity Customs, super great people, awesome dudes.
Awesome people.
We had I took a picture of it. The Peace of Mind, was it the Peace of Mind tattoo truck?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it was the Peace Machine.
The Peace
Yeah.
Machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
She
I
was
should
awesome.
have got a tattoo. I think that would have been cool. Like getting a tattoo in the back of someone's van. Like
It
that
was the
sounds
Peace
like
Machine.
some straight up Philippines level debauchery.
Honestly, it was really pro. It really was. It
It looked very clean. It looked it was professional. Don't get
She
me
was
wrong.
very clean. She was very professional. She was very friendly and nice. She said she's going back next year, so maybe I'll get her to add a little crown to my stick band.
Next year. I'm
Ooh.
definitely getting the tattoo.
I was
booked up
offered
fast.
the opportunity to be part of somebody's tattoo though. Turtle
Yeah.
asked me if I was willing to sign his butt cheek and then go get it tattooed.
You didn't? What's wrong with you?
I felt bad, man, knowing that my sloppy signature was on someone's magnificent butt. I just
There's
don't
so
know
many
if I
things I
could
want to
have.
say, but I
I'm
don't
pretty
know
sure
myself.
you would have signed paper and let her transfer it. I don't think I would have even. Listen. I'm vain and
My
I love
signature
myself,
is
but I wasn't signed
atrocious.
Turtle's butt.
That
sign
tattoo would be a nightmare.
Oh,
I have kids. It's a dad joke.
It's okay. So we've
See,
been
Wobbles-
ranting and raving, and let's maybe start at the beginning of all this, Bradley, so that we
Yes.
can get a nice timeline, because we've mentioned Willie Wobbles and the Flag Raiders truck and Tonka's beautiful.
Yeah, we're
tan.
kind of all over the place. So let's reel it in a little bit. So yeah, the event, 600 to 650 plus people, put on at Commando Action Centre. It's an absolute blast. And sorry, my headphones are way too loud. There we go. And
first world problem.
it really is. So it's technically 2 days. So Saturday was we had little skirmishes. So we had some Magfit paintball going on. We had some airsoft rentals going on. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. We had there was some food. Like they said, a food truck was coming, but it was instead of bringing their truck, they just set up like a little like outdoor restaurant kind of thing. Like
Oh, neat.
Like a cafeteria.
yeah, it was cafeteria
They
style.
were really good.
Yeah.
It was
pulled
good.
pork was fantastic until I went to number 1 Gom Way and had one that was vastly
Better?
superior, but it only tasted a little bit like gravel.
Only a little. And then there was there's some open class. There was some speedball skirmishes happening. There was actually speedball CPSs. So Capital Paintball Series. They were doing an actual private skirmish just a couple of fields away from us. So that was pretty cool. Got some great photos of everybody. It was awesome.
Those guys
and
were
then there was lots
super
of,
nice and inviting. They
Yeah.
let Willie Wobbles come on the field.
Oh no,
and
that wasn't CPS.
that wasn't CPS.
No, the field directly next to us was just open skirmishes.
Oh,
It was the next field over that if you watched them, they were doing like 1v1s and whatnot. What are you doing? What's this
what,
for?
do you
What's
want to
this?
say something? Speak.
I don't know, man.
Listen here in your red
just having
glasses.
fun.
I know.
You're washed out, back
Washed.
shadowed.
I thought you were
Yeah,
going
I'm
to call
telling
him a
you.
washed up YouTuber. Like I was like, "Ow, man, that's going a little harsh."
No,
Considering
washed
that
up.
was like right down
Hey,
there.
hey! The truth hurts, man. Come on.
No, not washed up, washed out.
Oh, okay, that makes a little more sense.
His light's too bright. Anyways, and then Saturday night there's the players party, which is fantastic. Big bonfire. We had disco. Wasn't really disco so much as it was just not rock music for the first time in 10 years.
It was 80s. It was
DJ.
I played against
I
the DJ.
enjoyed
couple
that
weeks ago.
music.
Yeah, it was good.
It was
I was vibing for a sober dude.
Oh, I loved it. Don't like Dave. Love you, man. And I love me some 70s, 80s metal and rock.
Don't watch your filthy mouth with me in this room. I don't want to hear it. Don't be mean about the 80s.
But when you're
80s hair
talking
metal.
with the general public, not everybody just wants to groove to Black Sabbath.
I mean,
Iron
that's
Maiden.
that's a little unfortunate. Iron Maiden. It's a little unfortunate that they don't like that. But
We
So-
asked those people to leave.
generally, but it is an open class event, so we have to welcome them in.
That's what I mean.
The
That's
player
what I
party
mean.
was fun. We
was
always
fun.
have a good time. There was soda pop and cigars had by all. And then the bonfire itself, where Dave decided to hand you and I a bundle of Roman candles and let us shoot at a structure.
That was
covered in
very
gasoline.
safe. It looked safe.
That was
by the way.
that was
He
wild
asked
because
me if I was sober, and I was, because I was the sober one, and I was the one who got to fire some rockets at things.
it was pretty cool because he literally just said, "Come with me." We're like, "Okay," expecting to lift something. Like I'm following him, thinking like, "Man, I hope it's not too like labor intensive." I'm in flip flops.
And then they went through a
Hunt again.
training program where they had to be taught how to safely handle fireworks in the situations that could involve other people.
You mean like if you threw one of the bundles into the fire and it accidentally discharged just slightly to the left of the crowd?
Well,
Slightly.
the crowd,
And then
crowd can
Dave,
move
and then
over.
into Dave?
Yeah, that was on
I
purpose.
may
though.
or may not have that recorded.
I have that recorded. All
that
of it.
may or may not ever see the light of day.
It
It
will.
looks
On the
cool,
page.
but it's very incriminating.
Oh my
I'm like,
Gosh, it was dangerous. It was so funny.
You ever seen a firework ricochet off a flip flop?
Those are
have.
bulletproof flip-flops.
Was that a ricochet or did he just kick it?
Yeah, he
No,
probably
he
just
kicked-
kicked
I
it.
think he
Like,
kicked it.
nope.
Cameron said it.
Cameron says it was in self-defense.
That Roman candle got uppity and it attacked Dave. Dave had to take it out. It was, and
That's exactly it. So then,
By fire
next
with Dave.
we didn't have fight fire with Dave. We did miss the presence of the great Marie, because every year Marie tries to get out of having to hang out with us at D-Day. So last year she tried to take she took the tip of her finger off. This year she threw herself down a flight of stairs. I don't think she wants us to go back, Brad. I'm getting that impression.
yeah, we're going back.
All right. Sorry, Dave. You might be a widower, bud. We're going to do our best. Put a mattress at the bottom of the stairs, bud.
Yeah, so that sucked. Hopefully she has a speedy recovery.
I heard from her today. She's feeling a lot better. She's a little banged up, but I mean, she still showed up that day. It happened the morning of Friday. She was still there Friday afternoon. Saturday morning, she was there and then did listen to reason and go and seek medical attention. And she was back that afternoon. Marie is a monster of running events. So
She's a champ, man.
God, I love her.
She did text
They're
me
wonderful
around
people.
4:00. I think she sent me a text like, "Hey, Led, the King and Brad left." I said they just left. She'll be like, "I'll be at the field in 4 minutes."
God, I knew it.
That's fair.
I don't know what
That's
that
fair.
means.
I wouldn't blame her.
No, that's fair. And that's exactly how long it takes for that
And
little
she came
electric button.
jogging down the hill. She
She
looked
came
healthy.
jogging.
She was jogging in flip-flops.
In
She
flip
wore a pair of Dave's.
What?
Dave flip flops. Yeah.
Oh man.
Wild. So Sunday rolls around, and that's the big game. We're talking, 600 plus people on the field, 300 per team,
At least.
at least. And
Yeah.
Really?
that game did
think it
not
was-
go how I thought it would.
It was better than it went better than I thought it was going to be honest.
How did you think it was going to go, Brad?
I was expecting a lot more stuck at the 50 throwing paint back and forth.
Dude,
But
it's
who-
never like that ever. Like
It's always
the
like
last
that.
No, it's not.
Oh, somebody
The
gets
way that-
pushed into spawn and they get pushed out.
Whoever is on Hamburger Hill side usually gets pushed in every
That's true.
time.
That's true.
And that's because you have from the spawn, you have a quick access across the D-Day hill into Hamburger Hill. So you have a team that has a slight incline that they got to go up, opposed to a team that has a steep incline. So by the time they come up over the top of that hill, they're already gassed. And I know this because we started on that side. Me and
we were
Rob,
gassed
the
going up that
rabbit.
hill.
Yeah, you get gassed. You get up top, and all of a sudden they're there, and we got stuck there. The difference is we pushed through. We just grabbed everybody and said, "Hey, respawn's 50 feet behind. Just push." And then we
Just
broke through the
throw
line.
bodies at the problem.
To be honest with
Just,
you,
and then, yeah,
we got there first. Like when we started running up Hamburger Hill, I was one of the first guys that crossed the tree line. And
Yeah.
then as soon as we saw the yellow team, I'm not taking shots at our amazing red team, but a lot of them stopped at the tree line and stopped.
Yeah.
moving. And then
that's a
we
very instinctual thing in paintball, though. A lot of people, as soon as they see the enemy,
they just
they
stop.
stop
They look for
rather than
cover.
try to gain ground and like push up closer. A
Yeah.
lot of people are like, "Oh, I see someone. I'm going to stop."
Or they
And-
see the first bunker. The first
And
bunker
that's-
they see, they get to
and-
that.
yeah.
And they
And that's the problem with a lot of players is they think the beginning of those games is all about shooting. No, it's about getting real estate. It's about taking those good
Yeah,
bunkers,
real estate,
good
100%.
angles, and you also want to fight on flat ground. You don't want to be fighting downhill or, stuck on Hamburger Hill. So a lot of guys stopped.
Yeah.
And then I went back to try to get people to push.
Mm.
And I think this is where we were stuck for 2 hours, maybe, where the yellow team really was super aggressive. And they did a pretty good job, like for 2 hours, and then everything changed.
Yep.
Yeah,
After
it was
the
a
second hour,
moment
we
just
were full mother
before
game.
lunch, and it all flipped all at once, and the momentum just shifted. I watched a whole bunch of times Led would run up and grab people, or he would run up to Tonka and he'd be like, okay, this is what's going on. And Tonka would look at him, okay, and then he'd run off and go do whatever the hell Leadfarmer said. And
Tonka was awesome. I wanted to come on the show. Be honest, I sent a text to Brad because at first I told him I don't want to do the podcast, but I wanted to come in just to give a lot of respect to Tonka, to be honest, because who wants to listen to me? All right, that's why. Because every advice I gave him, he was smart enough to listen and use other people's. No, that's not what I mean, but he used a lot of people's experience. Right?
I get you.
He used that to his advantage, which means he's a smart commander. Right? It's my home field. I've been playing there for over 10 years. I've played D-Day for 10 times straight. So he listened to what I had to say. He listened to Brad. He listened to Tom. He listened to a lot of people. And you know what? He used that and he won. And I told him last year we played against you, me and Brad, and and the King and Zach, and you lost. This year you're smart. You got us on your side. That's the only reason why he won.
I don't think so.
Maritimers. He doesn't think so because Zach wasn't there last year. Had Zach been there, Tonka might have won.
Zach was
That's
there
true.
last year.
Zach was there.
No, I
Oh,
wasn't
wait,
there
no, it was
last
2 years
year.
ago.
Zach
Oh,
was
yeah.
at D-Day last year.
Yeah,
I would
You were
remember
there for my last year.
Yeah, that's right. For your last year, he was there.
Well, see, he knew I wasn't going to be there last year, so he's like, "There's no point in me even showing
Right.
up." It's just meant to be, man.
I'm a fanboy. Whatever.
Oh, we got a massive comment just
Jerry.
through. So
Regarding players who just stop when they see a target, a lot of more experienced players and the generals assume that everyone knows the game, the mission, and communicates. Unfortunately, that is not the case. There's a lot of new players who don't get the mission briefing because it's not explained in the newcomer, and so they just show up and shoot paint and hope for the best.
okay,
That is
Yeah.
right.
yes,
Yeah,
but
that is
also
Very accurate statement.
there is no way, there is not a snowball's chance in hell that any general anywhere in a paintball game can control 300 players.
No, that's
10?
impossible.
No,
Yeah,
You're
you're right.
lucky. Yeah,
No.
10 you could do. 20, you're lucky. But as soon as you get past that 30, 40, 50 people, you could
Hurting
give
it.
the briefing and 90% of them look at you and go,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then veer off in the opposite direction you just told them to. Like that's
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
That's true.
Yeah,
It is like herding cats, but
Guilty.
I do agree with Jerry that if you saw at the end of the day, when they asked how many people were like first timers, there was a lot of first timers.
it was
Well,
so
there's a lot
good to
of
see.
first timers to
So
D-Day,
good.
but they were all experienced players.
I don't know. We don't know that they were
So,
all
well,
experienced
yeah, I
players.
guess we don't
so
know.
There was
it
a
is
lot
true.
of rentals on the field. I mean, I
Mhm.
noticed quite a
Oh
few.
yeah,
There was a lot this
Yeah.
year, which is cool. That means a lot of new faces came out, and I hope a lot of them had fun. I assume
It's like
a lot
that
of
every
them
year,
did.
though.
Honestly.
D-Day is known
Great
to
day.
have a lot of players playing for the first time during D-Day, especially
Well, 'cause,
locals. They
I
come
mean-
in for the first time.
Frankly,
Yeah,
as big of
like
a
this.
game as D-Day is, it's also a great opportunity for a player to play the first time.
Yeah.
Because you can, if you want to get into the firefights, you want to get into the mess, you can. You push up and you can put yourself in a position where you're going to get shot from all sides. Or you can inch your way up the field and get into smaller firefights along the way. You really do have like a buffet of options
You can try
As a
every
new-
style of paintball.
as a new
there
player.
is.
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
really can.
True.
Right.
There was so many times, man, where like I love playing D-Day, but it's so hard to move. I love getting those flanks. I love taking the path less traveled and showing up on the other side of the field in traditional surprise mother effer kind of way. That center part of the field where there wasn't a whole lot of people, like that really wooded, swampy, very wet area that like people without waterproof boots are not going to go through. Man, me and Wolf crawling through that all day long was so much fun. highlight of the day.
Paintballers always take the path of least resistance. Always. Like
It's true.
Like,
I
it
like
really
there
is. They don't want to get that dirty, right? So,
well, man, there was one moment where, and I think this is going to stick with me forever now. We were trudging through the swamp, and I was belly crawling, which I haven't done in probably 5 years of paintball. And suddenly I was like, man, I feel like Wolf right now. I feel like, the way he plays in his videos. And the next thing I hear is, "You're out, player." And I'm like, what the hell was that? And I look over, there's Wolf 5 feet up from me. And I was like, no way. So here we are just belly crawling along together. It was such
great
a cool
minds,
moment,
right? Great
man.
minds.
It was
he did that to me. We were in a part of the field where we were actually getting pushed back. It was fun. Like there was a proper like fight happening and we were losing ground. So there was a bit of a panic there. And the man just materialized out of a tree. Like, and I don't know. He just like showed up. And I was like, "What up, dude?" He's like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "We got this, that, and the other thing." And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then he dematerialized back into a tree. And then I didn't see him for like half an hour.
It's that camo he wears, man. It blends in so well with the foliage.
Yeah.
Like it truly does. That dye cam is amazing.
I was thinking that because I saw him at one point like lying down on dirt, which you'd think like the dark green and the dark dirt of a boreal forest, like in Ottawa and at Commando, would not work, but it did. I don't know how many players.
Well, you got to think. A lot of people get tunnel vision in paintball. A lot of us just look at where our barrel's aiming, and we don't really look for movement, right? So it's so like I wear black and tan in the woods, and there's times where people don't even see me, and I'm like, how did you not see me? I'm wearing black and tan with a mirrored lens, but it's tunnel vision.
Giant
are
yellow
we talking about our
jersey, a
costumes
crown.
now?
Oh, how do people sometimes? We're talking about paintballers getting tunnel vision, and for those of you just joining us on beautiful 97.9 FM CHSR in Fredericton, we're talking about the D-Day game that we just got back from this weekend, and our fantastic costumes. We had bananas, we had tutus, we had crowns, we had wolves, we had a tiger. I thought I saw a panda bear.
Yep.
Shout out to Banana Man, by the way.
The banana run in the final game was really funny. We at one point, like, we were talking about Wolf. I was in the final battle. We were just throwing paint, and I turn around, and there's Wolf walking over, and he goes, "Where are we going for supper?" I'm like, it's a hell of a question to ask right now. And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. Go ask Brad." And we'll ask Brad after. He goes, "Okay," and he just turns around and walks away. I presume to go talk to Brad and have a conversation with him about supper. And he's just walking along, big, and he's just shooting as he goes.
Yeah,
kind of just stops and looks.
The final battle. Oh, before we get to the final battle, I want to talk
I wouldn't
about
call it that, to be honest.
Well, yeah, before the slaughter, I actually felt bad. I really did. But there was.
But be honest, did you really feel bad? People are saying that you were dancing, singing "Ole, ole, ole, ole."
I was dancing and I was singing.
I missed that. Are you kidding me?
You did. It was awesome. There's pictures of it.
There's actually a picture of me and Led both are the same arm in the air, and you can tell we're dancing and we're singing "Ole, ole, 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 ole." Oh,
okay, that's it. Next year, I'm hitting up the final battle. I can't not be a part of that.
You missed out. But before the final battle, before the slaughter, there, one thing that they did differently for D-Day this year, which is very, very strange, even though I took advantage of it, and it was not properly explained to everybody. So that's a little bit of a hiccup. But the idea was with the slapsticks, which are like flags. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, slapstick, you basically hit it and it turns yellow on one side, hit it turns red on the other. Basically a PVC pipe inside of a pipe. Yeah, there. Led's doing a visual demonstration on an audio-based
for all of you on the radio, you'll definitely understand what's going on.
Yeah, so that's a slapstick ASMR.
So bark twice if you're in Wisconsin.
And so it's normally you'd run at it, you get shot, you're out. But the rules were as long as you had forward momentum, you could keep going, and the hits didn't count. The other team, I don't think, knew that because I ran. I even asked a ref before I did it. I was like, "Hey ref, can I do this?" And he's like, "I'm not sure. Why don't you ask Corey?" And then hands me a ref radio.
So I was genuinely surprised when you told me that was the rule, because that's that kind of stuff's my jam.
Yeah.
When I told Corey we were going to do it, keep going.
Yeah, so I got on the radio and I asked. I was like, "Hey, Corey," I was like, "You copy?" And he's like, "Yeah, go for Corey." I'm like, "Yeah, it's Brad. I've taken your ref's radio. Can I do this?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then the next thing I hear is, "Attention, all refs! Like, be aware." like I don't think he explained it to the refs even. So I run at it. I get to the first slapstick. I'm hit a couple times, but I just keep going, just keep sprinting. Don't slow down. Hit the second one. And you know that the other team had no idea what was going on and were just treating me like a cheater, because the second I turned around and put my hands up, I got annihilated. Like I'm walking back, like I'm out. It's just like whap, 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 all over my back. And I'm like, get it out, boys. Just get it out. I understand.
I got it on my head cam. It's right behind you, and it's going to be part of my highlight reel.
I can't wait.
So
to see
he
it.
comes back to the pit and he tells me this because, again, anybody who's seen me at D-Day, I will walk into any amount of guns because I'm kind of stupid. And I look at Corey, I'm like, is that true? Thank you. And he goes, yeah, it's true. I'm like, I'll see you guys in a few minutes. And he goes, Tom, he goes, one, we're not making anyone do this. I went, well, no, I mean, I'm stupid. I'll do it, but I'm not going to ask anyone to do it. And he goes, number two, when he counts the points, it's every 30 minutes. It's within a 3 or 5 minute window. He never does it on the minute. So you can be running in there and just getting the hell shot out of you for nothing. Just to have them flap the flag back and you lose, and you're all bruised up for being stupid.
Worth it.
Keep the flags red.
It was worth it. It was fun.
It
was kind of dumb, but
afterwards, Corey came and found me, and he was like, "How'd that go?" I was like, "Going great. It went great." He goes, "Cool." He says, "Just so you're aware, please don't just sprint the whole field and get them all in one go." I was like, "Corey, first of all,
forward momentum, baby."
Right? Yeah. I was like, "Corey, first of all, I would do that. Second of all, though, I can't physically do that. Do I look like I can run across the entirety of D-Day?"
Vastly overestimating any of our abilities to run.
Hey, they did not say that you had to run. They just said forward momentum. So you could walk the whole field.
You could. But if you flinched hard enough, the refs could pull you. If you flinched hard enough.
Oh, if you flinch hard enough. Okay.
So, like, if you're running and you get hit and you flinch, like, I got hit, so, right? So, like, boom, my shoulder went back a little bit and I just kept going. That's fine. But they said, like, if you curl up, like, if you bring your arms over your chest and you're just, like, you're high, you know what I mean? Like, and you keep running with your head down.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Good. They should call that.
It's like Rochambeau rules.
That's the point of it. If you can take the pain, you earn the flag.
I like how we're all laughing at the same thing at the same time.
In my defense, my name was Tonka. They changed it to better than Tonka.
I don't know what he's talking about. He did it himself. So
I don't know how to use StreamYard.
Yeah. So that. And we forgot an attraction. We had Jed, the mechanical bull. Which.
The shoulder dislocator.
I held out a lot longer than I thought I was. I got up there. Now,
were you expecting 3 seconds instead of 2?
Hey,
that's what she said.
I didn't say
such
that.
Low-hanging fruit.
Brittany, I saw you in the chat. We're gonna need some verification on that later. There was Jed the mechanical bull. We had the tattoo booth. We had Intensity Customs. Jed is always fun. People thought they had to pay to ride Jed. We had to go remind people,
like, how
just
much
go
is
ride
it? And we're like, it's free, and their eyes lit up. Don't wear paintball pants when you're riding a mechanical bull. It turns out the material that they make paintball pants out of has no friction against plastic.
No.
That makes sense.
There was a photo booth too. Did you mention the photo booth?
The photo booth.
There was.
You know what?
Booth. That's right.
The photo booth did not get used by me.
It should have been where it usually is, by the stage.
Yes,
it should have had it more central.
Now, what happened was that location the photo booth set up in was originally supposed to be the brewery. It was supposed to be one of Stray Dogs Brewing.
We're not going to say who cares what their name was?
There was supposed to be a brewery.
Yeah,
there's a brewery last
year. They canceled, and we don't know why.
Yeah, we don't know. They didn't show up. So It sucks, but it is what it is.
This was hilarious. The boys who saw this one, the portable bunker that these animals. I missed this.
Brad, tell
But
your
I
story.
saw it.
You tell this
Tell them what you
story
saw, Brad.
so well.
Yeah.
I got
So-
the video for this too.
So yeah, Zach was there with me for all of these stories, so there is video proof
Please post
of
this
everything.
video. I would love to see that.
So excuse me.
You're excused.
I should have hit the cough button. My bad. We're out in the woods and we're just shooting stuff and we're making headway. This is shortly after I had slapped both slapsticks to the color red, and then they were too afraid to take them back from us. They were trying to make headway. They kept going to this one particular bush, and we just kept lighting up the bush every time. Like they'd crawl into it, and they're just like paint would just fly in there, and then you see dudes walk out. But then this square, just lumbered forward, and everyone's shooting at it. And then these little flaps opened up, and it was like these little flaps opened up, and we're like, and then paint would come out of them. And then the flap would close, and then we'd shoot it, and it just kept coming, and it kept coming, and everyone's like, "What is that?" Like everyone thought it was a tank, but then you realized that it was getting picked up and moved, and then put back down, and then we thought, did they pick up a bunker? Did they pick up a building? Like what is
Like
this?
Solid
Like,
Snake.
yeah, like
Yeah, they solid snaked it. That's the best way to describe it.
and then Tonka, who is not pleased by this, he is actually you
Not.
can tell that. You can tell that he is not happy at all. He storms out across the field and
Thanks,
just
Knights.
out of nowhere just storms across, getting a shot. He's just like pop, 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 and he just keeps walking. And he walks over, and of course Tonka's he's jacked, right? We
He's
can't
not
get
a
around
little
that.
guy.
Man is jacked. He grabs it with one and just one hands it, and just it's gone. And it turns out it's made of cardboard. So I mean, one handing it's not that impressive, but ultimately, it's just gone. And there's like 4 to 6 people. There are 4 or 5 people in there, all crouched, and they don't see them coming because they got the flaps closed. They can't see out when the flaps are closed, so it's just like gone. And then it's like cockroaches when you turn on a light. They just scattered into the forest.
Oh.
And
Yeah, he was hot when he came back from that. He was not happy.
And we were all watching him, right? So there's a bunch of us in the woods. We're all like speedballers. Like we're all sitting there with these guns, and we're just looking at him. We're like, "What is he doing?" And then he pulls it off. We see the players just, like 60 players just aimed at one location.
Oh.
Ripped
I
everything
hope you've
apart.
got that on video.
I was
Yeah.
like,
That's
you
too
can
funny.
see leaves like coming off the trees. It's so
Oh, yeah.
Helldivers meme.
Good for you, Tonka.
I mentioned that I am still the true king of paintball. I got to duel with the Kaiser. Well, his representative, Thomas Burke. They do have it recorded, and the Kaiser has promised a response video for my victory. They were not satisfied that pistol whipping my opponent is apparently not acceptable.
I disagree.
It's
I
not
think
my
pistol
fault the gun
whipping
didn't
was
work.
perfect.
If it wasn't in the rules, if it wasn't stated specifically in the rules that you couldn't do it, you could.
There was
That's what
nothing
they said about the portable bunker. They were like, nobody said we couldn't.
that. And listen, that's D&D.
And we're like, okay, cool, but there was also no rule saying that Tonka couldn't rip it to shreds either. So like,
It's true.
But we had the lads from C1.
Did he have
there.
forward momentum while doing it, though?
Yes, he did.
the entire
Did
ride.
not stop. I don't even have to see the video to know that when Tonka went for that thing, he was not happy, and he moved with precision and determination and took the shots.
Ugh.
We had the C1D lads there. We had Rhino. Didn't send a couple of the NFT lads. We had the frontline lads. God, who else did we see there?
Maribel Army. Nobody gave those guys a shout out. That's
Dude,
the
we
only
did
thing
not.
Tonka failed.
They
That's why I'm
boasted
better than
the
Tonka
numbers.
who say
They
Shout
were
out to
not
Maribel
there
Army.
in force.
We didn't just get the Mirabelle Army. We didn't get the whole Mirabelle Army. The ones we got were the craziest, most savage group of Mirabelle Army members you could get.
I don't know.
I got to play
think
with them for the first time, and they were
they're-
I've
they're
seen a
something
more
else.
savage group of Mirabelle Army come by. Like those guys, they were good and they played hard and they were aggressive. But man, like there was one year, there was a dude who easily pushing 300 plus pounds in a single one, like a Borat thong. That's all the man wore.
I think that was 2019.
That's all you need.
Yeah, like they were savage. They were intense. This year, they were kind of, I don't know, they weren't as loud and rowdy.
Well, we're
But
all
I
getting.
it's a smaller number this year. Usually they come in like 80
Well,
players.
OPL
This year, I think they were like 40.
OPL was this weekend, this past weekend.
Mm.
It was the same
Yes.
weekend as D-Day.
Yeah.
So we lost a lot of players to OPL.
I feel like our team was pretty stacked, though. When I looked around, I could tell who was who. Like, there was no guessing who these players were. Like, obviously, like, there's a few rentals and there's people that you may not know. But I looked around like, oh, there's the Maritimers. Oh, there's Maribel Army. Oh, there's the other YouTubers. It's just like there was always somebody I recognized somewhere on our side.
There's a dude in a banana costume.
We were
Banana!
we were stacked with personality for sure.
Not much talent in the way of paintballing, but
No, just personality. Just straight personality.
It was, but honestly, I felt like you're not wrong. I think after the first quarter of the day, so by near the end of the first half of the day of Sunday, we had pushed them back pretty far. And then after lunch, their numbers dropped. I think we seriously outnumbered them after lunch.
yeah.
Yes, and I was somebody who I was asked to switch, and I did not switch.
That's fine.
No.
And I'm going to tell you why.
These colors don't run, son.
No, because I'm going to compare. this-
AKA, I'm not switching to the losing team.
No. Honestly, I played for Tonka. I thought he was going to lose. I told him that like at 8 a.m, and I was
I
wrong.
think we all said the same thing.
Right, because we played
I
with the
agree.
underdog, right? But I think the fact is that the numbers stayed balanced. The only difference is a lot of the yellow team players were chilling in the parking lot from 1:30 till they left.
I
So-
saw a lot of yellow players chowing down on poutine. Not a good time when it's 30 degrees out and you're trying to play paintball.
Rhino just made a good point that
I
that
think-
heat in the afternoon really did not do anybody any favors. It was
I think
But
they
that
really
affected
played
everybody.
hard.
That didn't affect one team. You can't say, oh, the heat affected one team more than the other.
I didn't say it affected one team or the other. I'm just saying it was wicked for
That's
all
what
of
he
us.
said. The
Oh.
time that heat on our side kicked our butts. What heat? You mean the heat, the generic temperature of the air? Doesn't work that way.
See, I think one of the
It wasn't
things
that
that
hot.
plays a large factor into D-Day and the swings within the day is the demoralization factor. As soon as one team, and this happens every year, starts getting their holy crap kicked in, and I've been on the receiving end of it, it's not fun, but it happens. Suddenly, you lose one player, and then 5, and then 10, and then 25, and it's like an exponential graph of failure. You know what I mean? It just the crack is there, and it's just getting bigger. Like you don't have the drive to get back when your team's just getting pushed.
One person gets demoralized, who demoralizes 2, and they each demoralize 2, and you basically get a pyramid scheme of really like burnt out players.
That's one of the reasons, though.
You have to
another
motivate each
reason-
other.
You really
but
do.
another
It
reason is they
sucks, like-
played. A lot of those guys played MacFed on Saturday. They played really hard. They were camping. They had a couple of drinks.
That
You're
is one
sleeping in a
thing that
tent. You're tired. You're
like,
dehydrated.
That is a part of it. Yes, 100%.
They had some brisket, some smoked chicken, and they just quit.
Did most of
on their
Yellow
commander.
camp? Did that maybe cause an issue? Because like if most of Yellow camped, they'd be tired. Like I don't care who you are, you don't sleep well
No.
at that kind of a camping event, right? You might get to sleep by 2:00 in the morning, and then you're back up at 5 a.m. because the sun's shining through your tent, you know, and you're having a rough go. That's why, like, I know we were talking about going like back and forth to the Airbnb. Like we're like, okay, we want to stay on the field next year.
Yeah.
But we're doing it in style.
Oh yeah. You mean like a Priss? No, get number RV EZ, baby. Get one of those suckers dropped there.
We're getting an RV parked on the field.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's the way to do it.
Man, we
That's
worked it out.
legit.
Grumpy's had
It's
that right.
cheaper
idea.
than a hotel.
It is.
And we
$500
can
it
park
was
at Spawn.
for 2 days.
Yeah.
And they park it for you.
Exactly.
yeah.
They deliver it. They clean it out. Septic and everything.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Right?
So
Like,
if anybody
come
wants
on,
to, hey, listen, come to the joust. That's what we're doing on the 23rd. I have one drop there because, I have space, so if somebody wants to come up and crash with us, give me a shout. We're gonna be
Dibs. I'm calling it right now. Dibs.
Right,
Dibs.
you
Dibs.
got
Dibs.
it.
Dibs. Dibs. Okay.
Zach.
By the way,
You're
does anybody have a
both-
speedball gun I can borrow? Because I don't want to use
Yes.
a box mag during this tournament.
Grumpy old
Yes.
man. Nightmare needs a marker.
Although I thought about it, I was like, you know how cool it would be to like at least win one game with a box mag. Like it would be kind
Honestly,
of like
they'd probably let you. It's just a
They would.
fun 1v1 tournament.
yeah, totally. But it would just be funny, you know what I mean? Like showing up, be like,
Absolutely.
here's my box mag.
They would
Just the
absolutely
ha-ha
let you
factor,
do it.
right?
I'm
Yeah.
positive they would think that's hilarious.
But after I
Yeah.
get smoked after the first round, I'd have to switch to a hopper. I'd be like, no, screw this.
Absolutely. Do it for the lulls the one time, right?
How much,
And then
Yeah.
move on.
how much paint does the box mag hold?
300?
300, yeah.
Okay, so that's like what, 2 hoppers worth?
No.
Yeah, a little more.
Yeah,
little less
almost.
hopper.
Hopper and change.
Well, maybe.
You can put 200 balls in a hopper.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But
might-
they can
might
also
be-
load a hopper faster than I could ever do that ever.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's an advantage.
No.
What, the hopper or the box bag?
I think the box mag's a massive disadvantage in that
Well,
scenario.
yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
oh,
Yeah.
that's
It's a
why we
bigger,
said
heavier-
A joke.
Oh, I thought they weren't letting you.
Oh no! These guys
they
are
would think it's
great.
funny.
I've talked to a few of them. They're absolutely hilarious. Like
all
They'd
right,
be totally
all right.
down with it.
I'm catching up.
if they were
Hold
like,
on.
"Man, you want to rock mags? Go right ahead." Like,
Yeah,
all right.
it's like why wouldn't?
No mags.
Like, who
Oh,
the
you
hell
want to run
cares,
10
right?
round tubes? Okay, we're running
you
rotors.
you paid
I'm
to enter
going
this tournament.
slingshot, baby.
Okay.
Pulling out the airbow.
Right.
Yeah.
Greg's saying too hot, too hot. It wasn't
Because-
that hot this year. It was warm.
It wasn't.
Right?
I
Last
thought it was
year,
muggy. I
Last
thought,
year
I
was
thought it
hot.
was warm.
last
Oh,
year
last
was
year
like
was brutal.
well,
Last year
40
was brutal.
degrees. The year before was
Okay.
pretty hot.
I want to give a shout out to Xfog though, because they saved me on this event, man. That was muggy, and I didn't fog up once. Hashtag by Xfog. Like
Finish
seriously,
them off. Use
We're
the
gonna get,
promo
we're gonna
code.
get to the sponsor reel in a minute.
no promo
for
codes.
how muggy it was. I was really surprised. The grills, the 2.0 grills that I was wearing, no fog whatsoever, and it got so bad. At one point, my nose got itchy, like on the bridge of my nose, so I just kind of like wiggled my mask, right?
All the
Just
sweat.
kind of scratch that. No, but as soon as I did, I could feel water run down my face.
When you squished the foam.
The foam was so wet. It actually
I heard you
I was a
hollering. It
little
so
scared
funny.
to breathe through my nose because I was like, there's so much water now, like on the edge of my nose. I'm scared I'm going to drown a little bit.
I hated putting my mask back on between rounds.
Okay, I'm
Like,
sick.
When I
Sick
walked off the reload, I
being.
was like, "Oh,
I have this. Okay.
I don't want to know about your fetish, bro.
No.
This,
It's
is,
not
this
that.
is a family paintball show.
It's really not. It's
Lies.
You're telling me how
Lies.
wet your face
really.
gets. I don't want to hear it.
no. But taking the mask off, like getting off the field, taking the mask off, and then swinging it around, right, and then leaving it alone, and then going back on the field, and it's still damp, but it's kind of cool. It doesn't.
You're
It doesn't
disgusting.
feel bad.
Meanwhile,
it's
the guys
terrible.
in front
Why
of you
sweat?
and
Who
behind you are
cares?
wet now.
Yeah, that's their problem.
He's swinging it around, and everyone's just like, "Is it raining?"
Oh, gross.
It's just the scene from Spaceballs, or not Spaceballs, from Airplane, just the
Yeah.
water running down his face.
I do want to give a big shout out to honestly like Tonka and Pat McGooey. I think they're a great choice for commanders.
Yes.
Matured and made sure everybody had a good time. They were talking where, I mean, it sucks for Pat that he lost a lot of players the second half. I wish he didn't because it would have been a even better fight. So big shout out to both of them. I think Commando did a great job to pick those mature people to command. But my only issue with the game, I'll be honest, I don't like the format. I never have. I miss the original D-Day. I miss the
Running up the
Axis or allies. Get off the boat. We're on top. We're defending. Your spawn is in the forest. I missed that because I didn't get to play on army base. It was completely excluded from the event. I missed the tanks. I missed the paratroopers, the ambushes.
I miss the tanks. Yeah.
Because honestly, all the elements that make this event a D-Day event were missing. There was nothing D-Day about it. This
I guess
is
we're
where
gonna-
I wanted to come on the show, not to criticize, but to provide good feedback.
If we're going to be super critical of it,
Yeah.
which I think is I think Corey would, as long as it's constructive criticism. he's open
Constructive.
to it.
He would.
Oh yeah, constructive.
Is
He did an
that,
amazing job. Nothing. I'm not
you're
taking
right.
kids.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was thinking the same thing. It would be nice if the game started top to bottom the way it used to be, right?
Mhm.
And then after maybe the first respawn, then it goes to the left and right of the field, like, you know, where our spawns actually were. But to start the game from the bottom of that hill and have no choice but to go up and get smoked 30 times before
I hate Hammer.
you actually get a chance to crest over, I think that would bring the essence of what D-Day used to be, and, you know, what the event represents. And then, you know, obviously at lunchtime, swap it around, and now you're at the top of the hill with your reinforcements, you know, 500 feet back, and they have to run up to give you reinforcements. So that way, you know, you can hold the hill.
Well, they did. I think one of my favorite memories, and Nightmare, you were part of this. Brad, you were part of this. Alabasta Slim.
Oh,
Oh
this
my
memory
God.
sucked.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Where we
Yeah, I know what
started,
you're talking
we're
about.
15 of us.
All the
versus-
celebs at the top of the hill. Ugh.
First strikes, and we were facing 400 players. You remember? We had to survive like 15 minutes. Drekcam was supposed to come and reinforce. I missed that.
Yeah,
And
that was fun.
Honestly, yeah, some of my favorite memories were with Brian. Remember the ambush, me and you and Greg Hastings?
Oh, dude, yes.
The
yes.
paratroopers.
That video was the #1 paintball video for almost 5 years straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that this year's D-Day almost felt a little too, maybe there's a better word for it, but almost a little too sterilized? Too safe.
I don't think
too-
sterilized is a fair word.
Too generic.
Yes.
Generic big game.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I had a lot of fun. I'm not downplaying the event. I
We all have
had a
fun. We all
blast.
have fun. Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
but you're right. If you were to look at what's going on in the United States right now, as far as their big games go and like their objectives and what they're bringing on the field,
Like
yes,
Oklahoma,
it
D-Day.
definitely missed.
Yeah.
It missed that big game feel. Like, it was big. We had 600 players. It was big, but it was missing the little things that make it. Oh my God, this ain't
the
a
wow
walk.
factor, the APC on the
Yeah,
field.
the wow factor. Yes,
Yeah.
that's
The
what it is.
tank
The
on
wow
the
factor.
field, starting and climbing the hill, and just knowing
boats are
that you're
dead.
going allied the start of the day, you're just gonna get wrecked, but you're pumped for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that. That sounds awesome.
It was
Yeah, it
disgustingly fun.
so amazing.
It was a blast.
I miss it.
Speaking,
And then,
by the way, sorry, I have to do a tangent for somebody, because speaking of big game, we're trying to get one going here. So why don't you fancy lads come up and party with us? No, you can't. It's the end of the month. But
It's
on the
so
30th at
close.
AXP,
It's too far away.
It's
Or
too
close.
far, too close. We can't do it this year. But at AXP, they're doing a big game this year. I'm going to be there. Brad's going to try to be there, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it. Don't shake your head. Actually,
taking too
sell
much
it.
time.
At what field?
AXP,
Atlantic
AXP.
Extreme Paintball. It's
Oh,
it used to be
the old Memram Cook has been.
I've never
Charles-
played there.
It's a nice little. It's old school 90s.
It looks great, and I always wanted to play there when I lived on the East Coast, and not once did I ever make it out there.
it's a nice
yeah.
field. Yeah, they're looking to run a big game. Now, big game is maybe not the right
100
term for it,
players.
because
Trying to get 100
he's-
people here.
It's East
is
Coast.
A big game
It-
in Moncton.
East
in New
Coast, come on,
Brunswick, you know that.
he's
Anywhere,
capping it at 35 or 40, isn't he?
if you get more, you get more.
Yeah,
What? For side?
he's capping it. No, total.
Like, that's kind of strange.
Let me check. I
But,
think what
yeah,
he's very
like-
worried about is unbalanced teams, which is I mean, that's a
Which is
legitimate
fine.
worry.
So, but no, it's not, because if you run an event properly, I don't care how big of an event it is. When you're on the stage, everybody's in front of you. If you look at your registration numbers and you realize they're totally skewed, you look at the crowd, you divide it, you go, you guys are red, you guys are yellow. I don't care. That's it.
Problem solved.
But and you
yeah.
know as well as I do, friends are going to play with each other. People
Yeah.
are going to swap to the winning team. It happens on every game. So, like, no matter how hard you try to rebalance,
Okay.
people are going to do what the people are going to do.
Charles is
So
in the
you need
chat
to have
right
a
now.
break.
He's just informing that there is no cap. So I
Okay, well, there you go.
I just misunderstood the graphic, because
Oh,
there was
okay,
a graphic
okay.
put up that looks like it's capped.
Gotcha.
'Cause it's
Maybe it said
got
no
slot
tack
names.
caps. I don't know.
I think the King and Brad should make it to a Sega, because I'm excited
Dude,
for that.
unless
Yes.
okay, this is me.
Dude, I
sounding
think
like a
Wasaga is going to be
spoiled-
bigger than D-Day.
this is
I'm
me
going.
sounding
It's
like a
my first
spoiled
time.
brat.
I'm excited. Zach, you're going
Me
too,
too.
right?
Then don't.
I'm absolutely
yes.
I'm absolutely sounding like a spoiled brat, but because I keep getting asked things. You're gonna make it to 0 hour. you gonna make it to Wasaga? Are you gonna make it this? You're gonna make until the fields start paying me to go places. I can only go one place, two places a year.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair.
It
Yeah.
costs me a lot of money.
Have you thought about moving to Ontario?
I can't.
I think Ontario's full right now, to be honest.
Yeah, I filled
They
up the
don't want
last
more
spot. Sorry,
Maritimers
guys.
taking
They
jobs.
can only handle it. Nightmare was the
Later.
last one.
I was, yeah, the train was leaving, and I grabbed the caboose on the way in. So, like,
Sorry, he grabbed the last ticket.
Yeah,
You can move to
but
Quebec, though.
I
We
can't.
have a Mac.
Dude, you don't want. He'd have to move straight to Montreal. He wouldn't survive anywhere else. They'd eat him
Montreal would be
alive.
nice. You can get all the smoked meat you want.
I'm the one with the gout
but
problem, not him.
I think
If
I'd love
Brad moved to Montreal, his hopes and dreams of ever losing weight are out the window. The amount of poutine and smoked meat that man's going to eat is like through the roof. Like he'll hit his protein intake.
I'd be dead in a year.
It's worth it. It's worth it, man.
End up looking like Homer from The Simpsons when he wanted the work from home job.
Yo.
You know, he was they considered him morbidly obese at 300 pounds.
Yep.
I will
That is
start the
terrible.
GoFundMe for your moo. Just
Thanks.
saying.
I'll just go buy him a moo. That's what it takes, man.
YES. YES.
Right. But yeah, so oh god, I would love to go to all these places, but I can't afford it. I can't.
And I really wish you could come out. Like, not to deviate away from how awesome D-Day was and how much I can't wait for the next one. As you guys have already seen the picture of me waiting in my bed, all tucked in with my paintball gear. But Wasaga is the next big one on my list. I'm looking at it. I've got companies I haven't talked to in a long time being like, "Are you going?" Because I'm going to be there. I'm like, "Oh, you're going to be there."
You're gonna help me get there.
No, I'm just going to drive. That's it. But yeah, there's these HR Tactical, I think it is. HR, I can't remember. But yeah, they're going to be there. Intensity's going to be there. They asked me if I was going. So, by the way, apparently
See,
I'm
there it is again.
going to be on a
Wolf,
banner.
0 hour?
What? No 0 hour. I can't. I tried.
I wish I could
wanna
make
go.
it. It
So
was
bad.
such a good time last year. Great time.
I was this close to
Really?
going. This close to going to 0 hour.
You know what? We should all go next year.
I really want to go to Wasaga.
Let's do it.
Worst way.
Let's do it.
Fellas. Not to cut everybody off, but we
It's
do
that time of
need
the
to
hour.
wrap up very, very quickly. So, thank you for coming on. For everyone who's hung out with us, we've got about 4.5 minutes.
That's
So
all the time I need.
I need half that. So we need. It's all about efficiency, bro. Efficiency. So all in all, sum it up, Tom. What was your take on D-Day? Quick, you got like 30 seconds.
Had a blast. The grumpy old man put on a wonderful little spread for us and kept us all fed and taken care of. Watching Willie Wobbles meet his hero and discover his love of speedball is what's gonna stay with me for the rest of till the next year. We do something better.
Love it. Zach, what do you got?
Well, D-Day has always got a special place in my heart, and it's the one game that I try as hard as I can to be at as often as I can be when it comes around. I think I've only missed 2, and one was out of my control, and the other one, well, that happened. So, I mean, I'm never going to stop coming back to this game. That's how much fun I have. So, I mean, that's all I can say, and big shout out to all of my friends that came out to play with me. The effing squad showed up. Geraldo was the man in the banana. He's my friend and was also at the event selling stickers.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Nightmare, or the artist formerly known as Nightmare.
Don't forget
Dude,
that.
honestly, for anybody who hasn't been to D-Day, it is more than a paintball game. It's a paintball game. It's a party. It's a family reunion. And I've said this every single year. It is my chance and everybody else's chance to regroup from all over Canada and meet in one central location and just play paintball and laugh and have a good time. There's no drama. It is honestly one of the best events in Canada. And if you're not playing there, you're not playing at all.
Amen.
Led.
Shout out
Take
to
us
Dave
out.
and Marie. Epic event. Thanks for everybody who worked on that event. Referees, media. Shout out to Tonka, Pat McGoey. You guys made a great event. Hope to see you guys at Generals again. A lot of love for the Yellow Team. You guys are my paintball family. A lot of those guys are commanding crew. So much respect. I get it. You guys played hard on Saturday. Sometimes you got to take a break. Red Team, proud of you guys. Sorry if I yelled too much, but you guys did it. You guys fought hard, and I can't wait to be a part of your little group again next year. And thanks
Yeah,
to all of you guys. Had a great time with you guys. And Grumpy Old Man, thank you for lending me all those markers. I'm going to do the heart again because it was a great time. So.
So yes, it was an absolute blast. So thank you for everyone who hung out with us tonight, chatting, sharing, liking, all that jazz. And special thank you to everyone listening to us on 97.9 FM CHSR here in Fredericton. Find us on social media, Maritime Paintball Podcast. We're pretty much everywhere. Just look us up. You will find us. But that's it, folks. Until next week, cheers.
So
Good
got to change
show.
those graphics. I'm so fat in that
Dude,
intro.